Good morning to everyone. Now today we are going to see about the biogas production. So what do you mean by biogas? So bio means it is prepared from the biological living stock materials. Of course it is an environment friendly gas and it is a renewable energy source which can be produced by the breakdown of organic matter by the bacteria under anaerobic condition. So here you can see the small structure of a biogas plant. So you can see in the downstairs a concrete block like or box like thing, and at the top you can see a dome shaped structure which can be removed, and you can see an inlet and an outlet. So all the waste materials which consists of organic matter, that is which is the waste of the any organic living organism, whether it is a plant or animal, whatever it is, the waste. So that waste, it can be undergo the process of decomposition in the presence of anaerobic condition. That is, in the anaerobic microbes, they will break down, and as a result this gas will be released. That is, usually it consists of the methane gas and carbon dioxide, and these methane gas, and it has been very much useful for all the domestic purposes, and it is an environment friendly one. That is more important. That's what it has been given. It can be produced by agricultural waste, food waste, animal dung, manure and sewage. So the process of biogas production is also known as anaerobic digestion. That is more important. Anaerobic digestion, that is, there shouldn't be any presence of oxygen should be there. So that is, it should be highly of a closed structure. Okay, and why we have to move this? What is the composition of the biogas? It mainly consists of the methane, that you can see up to 75%, and carbon dioxide, then hydrogen sulfide, nitrogen and hydrogen. Okay, these are the very minute quantities, other things. So the major is the methane and carbon dioxide. Of course, in a country like agriculture, like a country like India, this biogas plant, it is of very much useful, because it is the you can see in the picturization now, that is, it is the animal waste, and you can see the plants, that is which under the process of photosynthesis, how the plants are producing and how it has been made up of, and the plants and the animal waste and all the one, it has been scrubbed or it has been mixturized into a small compounds, and now in the center you can see the dome shaped structure, that is the biogas plant. So there it will all will be undergo the decomposition. We can normally see in our village side or anywhere, if there is a well which is not under use and which has been dumped with all this garbage waste or any organic waste. So there you can see the decomposition will take place, and you can see the gas will be released, and those gases are usually of the methane and carbon dioxide. That is what we can see in the village side, that you don't go near the well which is not under the usage purpose or which has been stuffed with the organic waste material, that will undergo the decomposition process. So that decomposition process alone. Of course, in an agricultural country like India, all the agricultural waste which has been which can be converted into an usable renewable energy resource, because it when you are going on to decompose it by making a fire or whatever the thing, so it is a harmful or it will be pollute the environment. That is what we can see now in our Delhi, which has been all the pollution is caused by the it is the firing of all the agricultural waste in the Haryana and Punjab. So there in Haryana, Punjab, of course, this biogas plant is utilized in a more specific way. Okay. Now we can see the structure of the biogas plant, how it is being working. So you can see an inlet to feed the slurry. There is an inlet to feed the slurry. Then the fermentation chamber. You can see there in the center a chamber-like structure, isn't it? That is the fermentation chamber where the biogas is produced with the activity of the microorganisms. Those microorganisms are usually called as methanogenic bacteria, because as a result of these bacteria will produce only methane. So they are usually called as the methanogenic bacteria. And after the digestion, the gas will be produced, and the gas there will be a gas storage tank at the top. There the gas will be filled, and after this process, that is after the production of biogas, some of the slurry will be left, that is the waste. That can be also be removed, and it can be used as a very good fertilizer. That is what the outlet for the used slurry. So the exit pipe to remove the gas produced, and the organic matter is feed into the digestible, which is completely in submerged water to provide it with the anaerobic environment, and these digestions are hence called the anaerobic digestion. So the microbes, the methanogenic bacteria, how the process is carrying on, next we will see. So the slurry so there is an inlet, there is an outlet to remove the slurry, inlet to feed the stock material. The stock materials also we can see now. So the process of fermentation will be taken down in the biogas plant, and it can be, the gas will be exit outside by the exit pipe. Okay. How the organic matter is breaking down. So the first stage, it involves the breakdown of the organic polymers, carbohydrates, and making it available to the next stage of the bacteria. That is, the first is the hydrolysis. Then the acidogenic bacteria, they convert the sugar and amino acids into carbon dioxide, ammonia, hydrogen, and organic acids. These organic acids are then converted into the acetic acid. So first is hydrolysis, then acidogenesis, then the acetogenesis. So after that, acetic acid, hydrogen, ammonia, and carbon dioxide, they are finally converted into the methane and carbon dioxide by the action of the methanogens. Okay, so these are the waste materials, whatever you can see. You can see the agricultural waste and cow dung. In a proportion, you can say mix it. As a result, you can see when you go for the anaerobic digestion of the both one, you can see the low high yield wheat. If it is a co-digestion, that is before feeding into the biogas plant, it has to be made into smaller bits, and then if you feed into the feeding material, you can get a high biogas yield. Okay. For the biogas, it is the co-digestion with the substrate. For the first thing what I told, it is the facilitate the hydrolysis, as well it is balance the carbon and nitrogen ratio and the inhibitors, pH and total solid content. And the co-digestion that aids in, first it's told is in digestion, anaerobic digestion and co-digestion. So it is a co-digestion aids in reducing the ammonia inhibition along with the enhancing the biogas production from the feedstock by increasing the digestibility. So co-digestion of the biomass with a high carbon substrate, the disease to N ratio will enhance the biogas production. That is what we are adding the cow dung along with the feeding materials. So here you can see all the feeding materials, what and all you can use, and if it is rich in organic or cellulose, lignic cellulose, then how it has been made into smaller products. If you have to make it into smaller bits, and then if you made it to, then the yield will be more. That is what it has been given at the top, the bottom. So it is a crystalline, then the composite organic dyes, then it will be formed into the hemicellulose. So it has to be broken into smaller bits in the cellulosic form, then the digestion will be at very fast rate, and the yield of the biogas production will be also be more. So it is a small biogas unit. You can see it has been of course installed in a village near Haryana. Okay, so you can see the dome shape. It is the digester, how the feeding materials are entering inside, and from the digester how the gas has been leading outside, and how the slurry has been taken outside for the as a fertilizer it can be used. It is the same concept. You can also see before that all the organic waste. See at the right top you can see the plants and all these things, these waste materials. It has to be, you can see a diagram of the chopping. So it has to be pre-processing. It has to be chopped into small thing. Then if it has to be added to the for the digestion process, then in the digester it will go on the process, and those process it will be released as the liquid, and the gas will be released, and the waste will be released as the slurry. So it is the process. You can see what I told. The first step, it is the hydrolysis. So you can see the animals and the plants. In the animal waste, excreta, the human excreta, everything can be digested and waste out. So the hydrolysis, it is the first, it is the breakdown of organic materials into simpler organic compounds. Then it is the acidogenesis. That is, it is the conversion of those organic compounds into the alcoholic conditions. Okay, that is the acids and alcohol. Then these acids and alcohols, it will be converted into the process of acetogenesis, that is the formation of acetic acid. Then finally these acetic acid, then it will be undergo the process of methanogenesis. So as a result you will get the methane, that is the biogas, and the carbon dioxide. Okay. And one more thing you can see here, the protein, carbohydrate, fats, it has been converted in the fatty acids and alcohol. You can see the acetic acid, ethanol and carbon dioxide, and everything it will be converted into the methane. So it is a small nutshell. You can see all the organic materials, it consists of carbohydrate or protein or fats. everything will be converted in the fatty acids and alcohol, then it will be converted into whether into acetic acid or ethyl alcohol or carbon dioxide, and finally the methanogenic process, everything will be converted into methane. So thank you everyone, it is the same process only.